deaf interpreter who didn't really know how to interpret, turns out also to possibly be a mass murderer. He was among a mob, supposedly, that burned 2 people alive because they stole a television. So my question to you guys is, who among us?
Is that mass murdering or justice? Justice delivered. I mean, these guys are jacket TVs. Boom. 1 second, you're king of the world. Next second, you're on fire. Your head is on fire.
I think it sets the pace to kind of show anybody who's watching him, which is the world really, that they can pretty much do whatever they would want to, and there might not be repercussions.
America's reeling right now because of Obamacare implementation. Kind of feel like we're a third world country. But then a real third world country comes along and does something like this, and you realize, well, maybe we're not that bad after all.
He wants to get on the world stage and see angels. He does it.
Yeah, we are that bad because we allowed this guy to get this close to the President of the United States. You can't get on an airplane without being, stripped and fondled and kissed by a government employee. This guy was not considered like an immediate threat to the United States. Meanwhile, like Yemeni weddings are. Let's just wipe them out.
Oh, friend, you don't have a job and you're connected to the power elite? Why don't you do sign language? Doesn't matter if you don't know it. Just go up and do it.
My dad does background checks on everyone I go on dates with, so it takes him 5 minutes.
You know what's
stuff like burning tires.
One American institution that does not do background checks? The Daily Caller.
Yeah, don't tell your dad about us.
What's astonishing is that South Africa was so unprepared for Mandela's passing, as if this came as a surprise. He's been dying for like 5 years.
Last question to wrap this up. 2016. Is this a real foil? I mean, we got Louis Gohmert, Duck Dynasty, deaf interpreter.
Well,
Republican bench is looking strong.
Well, that's a good point, because he did embarrass the president.
Yeah.
He sees and communicates with angels, and he merits out street justice. That's a guy who can get through a few early primaries.
A student just got suspended for 1 year for hugging his teacher. Now, the kicker is he wasn't just a student, he was a high school senior, and he was on the football team. Is there any excuse for hugging in modern society, or should that just be met with swift masculine justice?
Masculine justice. I mean, really, I think it's an epidemic in modern America where hugging's become the norm.
There's 2 kinds of hugging, all right? There's good Christian hugging, like this. I'm hugging like Brother Jamie here. Don't do that with your head.
I do a there.
You do this. Okay, all right. That's also that shows intimacy issues, but whatever. That's your thing. Then there's the other kind of hugging, which is the genital on genital hugging. I mean, it's essentially dry humping. It's twerking, not hugging.
There's a difference between the hey, good to see you hug, and the hey, you're a teacher alone in the classroom, and I'm a senior on the football team, and I'm gonna hug you right now.
Well, I think the manly back pat's a little bit different than an embracing.
All I'm saying is that if George Washington was hugged more than he was, America wouldn't be here today.
No. First, second, third base, home run, no hugs.
What about the dugout? Satellite photos indicate that Arctic sea ice is actually growing.
Global warming alarmists are impervious to facts.
Imagine for a moment that Al Gore was elected president in 2000 and the destruction he would have wrought to our economy in order to get global warming under control, to stop the Arctic ice from melting, which wasn't melting.
Yeah.
They always say, you got to do it for the kids. You got to do it for the kids. 1 out of every 1,000,000 kids is going to get asthma if we have coal power. But what really hurts the kids is destroying their jobs, destroying communities. So dad's out of work. It increases abuse. It increases poverty. It increases alcoholism.
Yeah. By the way, those are fantastic jobs in the coal mine. We don't want to take those coal mine jobs away from those kids.
Any coal miners out there, I will tell you where Will Round lives.
Can you actually imagine if this guy was president in 2000, 2004? The damage that he would have wreaked on the economy trying to prevent something that was never going to happen?
And to save polar bears, which are fat, disgusting, vicious creatures that only look good in Coke commercials and pictures.
Somebody sounds like they're projecting.
I am fat and vicious and disgusting.
Is the show still on? I took off my microphone.
You've been editing for years, but it's going to be Morning Bro that outs you as illiterate.